All right, we have some news just coming in at this point in time. India today has accessed the information on Saif's friend Afsar Zaidi, who is closely linked to the entertainment and business industries. He also co-founded the apparel brand The House of Pataudi with Saif Ali Khan. He is the co-owner and CEO of the fitness brand HRX with Hrithik Roshan. He founded celebrity management firm Exceed Entertainment. In 2005, his company represented major Indian stars like Hrithik, Priyanka Chopra and Saif. He shares a great rapport with several stars including Saif Ali Khan. He started as a sports management professional at Mahesh Bhupati's Globo Sport is what we know. We're getting in more details about the person who who rather did the paperwork for Saif Ali Khan, and his name as per protocol is mentioned in the medical report, or rather the discharge summary. Essentially, that talks about the fact that Afsar Zaidi was there at the hospital and did the paperwork for Saif Ali Khan. That's what the hospital says in its written report. So who really is Afsar Zaidi? The big question there. Afsar Zaidi is somebody who's known to many other celebrities. Tushar Joshi getting in more details. Tushar is linked to not just Saif but many other celebrities including Hrithik Roshan, isn't it?
That's right, Sneha. So Afsar Zaidi is a name that has been prevalent in Bollywood for a very, very long time. He's somebody who has a company that manages celebrities. He looks at endorsements, and he has worked very closely with Saif as well. Now, Saif is somebody who is very selective about the people he works with. Afsar in the past has given him advice on his businesses, especially on House of Pataudi, which is a brand he recently launched. And he has also, a lot of actors have also turned to Afsar in the past for advice when it comes to signing films, doing endorsements, or issues, legal issues, when they are caught in a soup. So that's the kind of space that Afsar Zaidi is in Bollywood, and he's known by many, many actors, Sneha, in the industry.
Afsar known to many, many actors, as a report was pointing out, linked to the entertainment industry. He actually started as a sports management professional at Mahesh Bhupati's Globo Sport. Tushar continues to be with us. Tushar, the big question here, he came into the hospital. I'm just wondering, and if you could just throw a little more light on that as well, about why Kareena wasn't there. One would expect that the wife, when she's present and home and she's the witness, this attack that has taken place, she would be the one to, take her husband to the hospital. But on the other hand, we see this medical report talks about Afsar Zaidi doing all the paperwork for Saif.
Any information at this point in time is mostly speculative because Kareena hasn't really come out and said anything in particular, or everybody around the family, around Saif and Kareena, are being extremely guarded in terms of any information that perhaps they are speaking to media or even off record, offline. But from what I believe is there was an Instagram picture that was shared which had a post with Sonam Kapoor, Riya Kapoor and Kareena Kapoor showing that they were having a dinner perhaps a few hours before the incident. And we also got visuals of Kareena looking very distressed, standing next to what looks like a rickshaw, speaking to perhaps one of the maids, and she looked visibly distressed. Now, the question is, why was she not in the hospital, and why was Afsar Zaidi, who is perhaps a business accomplice or a friend of Saif Ali Khan, at the hospital? That's the answer that only perhaps Kareena could have. There are different theories doing the rounds, but I don't want to speculate or add any fuel to any of these.
All right. Tushar Joshi getting in those details from Mumbai as far as Afsar Zaidi is concerned. He's telling us that he's known to many other celebrities, and the fact that he had come in, who called him then is the big question here. These are details that we learn sooner rather than later, but the investigations in this matter continue as far as Zaidi is concerned. He's linked to celebrities. He founded the celebrity management firm Exceed Entertainment in 2005. His company represented major Indian stars like Hrithik Roshan, Priyanka Chopra and Saif Ali Khan. Vidya also continues to be with us. Vidya, we were talking about this earlier as well, that the doctor said that Taimur was there along with a member of the staff who got him to the hospital. But later on, the medical report says, as far as the paperwork is concerned, Saif's friend Afsar Zaidi had come in to do this paperwork, isn't it?
Of course, we do have friends who do come in when, at time of such need. And that's one of the reasons why we had Zaidi there, who came a little later. Remember, the doctors had very clearly specified that, Saif and his son, along with the attendant, had come around 3 o'clock. The preparation for calling in the neurosurgeon, the calling in the anesthetic for the operation, the CT scan being done, all that was had taken a little while, and by the time the form for filling up to admit Saif was taken, by that time his friend had arrived. So Zaidi was the one who signed that document. Of course, it's a part of the entire investigation, the sequence of events, the chain of events that took place through the night. That will have to be established by the police, and really have to see whether Zaidi's statement is recorded or not. But it's certainly a matter of the fact that it does remain that Zaidi was present when he signed that entire document as a friend, as family, almost a family-like.
Is in fact getting asked those details. What more, Tushar, can you tell us about Afsar Zaidi? For how long has he known Saif Ali Khan? Because from what it appears, he possibly is one of the closest friends of Saif, isn't it? And that's the reason why he was the one to come in. Tushara was asking you, for how long has Saif known Afsar Zaidi? Because like I said, he was the one to reach the hospital perhaps first. So obviously would be very close to Saif, isn't it? Vidya continues to be with us on that story. Afsar Zaidi closely linked to many celebrities. Vidya, like I was asking Tushar, perhaps very, very close to Saif, and that's the reason why Afsar Zaidi was the first to come in to do these formalities. For how long has he known Saif? What more can you tell us?
Well, they do share business interest is what we have information about, If you remember a venture that Saif Ali Khan had started, which is basically the House of Pataudi that was started. That's that's Saif Ali Khan's and, Zaidi's brand is said to be that, in collaboration that they had started it. However, Zaidi is, this is not the only business interest that Zaidi really has. He has a brand also with Hrithik Roshan, which is into fitness. So, there are various business interests also that Zaidi has. But at this juncture, the way Zaidi really came around, signed a form for, Saif Ali Khan, it does seem it's not just business, but also very personal, relationship he shares with the Pataudi family.
Personal relationship that he shares with the Pataudi family. This is the person, viewers, who got him to the, who signed the papers for Saif Ali Khan. Remember that once a patient is brought to the hospital, there's a fair amount of paperwork that needs to be done. And this was a medical legal case, Tushar. Only all the more important, Saif was attacked by an unknown intruder. The medical report details on that, and hence important for somebody to come in and do all the paperwork as per protocol, isn't it? And that's how Afsar came in.
Yes, Neha, because, Saif and Kareena and the entire family trust Afsar. At this point in time, there would have to be a person who the family trusts and believes in. Afsar, like I said in the past, has worked with Saif very, very closely. He knows Saif really well. So it could be that because you need to have somebody's name on paper, you need to document everything. Afsar would have been the best person at that point in time, given the situation was, because Saif also doesn't have a management which perhaps looks at his work, or a PR who is with him 24/7 like perhaps other actors. This also happened at a very odd hour, and Afsar must have been just a call away, which is why Afsar stepped in. He got all the documents done so that anything that needs to be done away in terms of legal work in a hospital is taken care of. Sneha.
Right, Afsar closely linked to the entertainment industry. Afsar has, in fact, links with many other Bollywood celebrities. He had come in. Clearly, Vidya was telling us that that relationship between Saif and Afsar Zaidi was not just business, but clearly much more than that, and that's the reason why he had come in. to do the paperwork for Saif, and Saif was brutally attacked by the intruder. Vidya, getting in more on that story, any word from your sources as far as the sequence of events is concerned? Afsar Zaidi called by the family for paperwork 2 hours after the attack is the question here. Wondering why no other family member was at the hospital hours after attack, given that his sister, brother-in-law, mother, sister-in-law, wife, all of them live in the same city, but the friend was brought in. Vidya, any more information that you can share with us? These are questions that remain unanswered, isn't it?
Well, it also has to see, we have to see that, this incident really happened deep in the night, in the middle of the night around 2 o'clock. It's pitch dark and suddenly someone enters your house and you're traumatized. It's not for everyone to really, hold a really good fort. And that's one of the reasons why we saw, Kareena leaving with the sister instead of actually what everyone has been questioning as to why she didn't, go to the hospital. Well, she reacted differently is all that the Khan and Kapoor family has been stating, and probably, one really can't hold it against her for just doing that. But certainly, they did call up their friends and family, and we all do have that 3 a.m. friend. This kind of incident when it happened and Saif reached the hospital around 3, he, someone from the family or Saif himself might have called up their friends to, come out and help and inform them as to what had really happened. And during that entire duration, Zaidi was probably the one who, picked up the phone and came out immediately. So by the time he came, he signed that document, and then, the procedure for the entire operation. Remember, it was a 5 to 6 hour long operation that was really happening at the Leelavati hospital. And during that entire duration, as the doctor said, Saif had signed his own consent form for anesthesia for the operation. So, there were probably a few formalities of, say, admitting Saif Ali Khan that was probably left, and that's Zaidi signed. So, there are a whole lot of documents that we all know happen when someone enters the hospital, and, taking up after the initial investigation when doctors state that, the person has to be admitted. So, that happens a little later. It doesn't really happen immediately. So, that must have been some considerable time span after which this form must have been filled up, and that's why we have Zaidi's signature. Or else, as the doctors had said very clearly, that, on the anesthetic, for, consent form for anesthesia or even for the consent form for the operation, it was Saif himself who was in that conscious mind, even in that stage where he was, he had blood all over him, he was bleeding heavily. In spite of that, he was in such a conscious state where he had signed those forms. So certainly, there are a lot of people who do come in, and we all know that Taimur was the one accompanying Saif at that point.
Vidya, be with us. We'll come back to you for more on that big story as you track the investigations in this matter.